And we are back with the brilliant, the insightful, the delightful, the spriteful OG Grant Schiller to talk about the Rangers making possibly the best offseason in the history of any sport ever. I don't feel like that's too much of a hyperbole, but it feels right on the mark. But anyway, the trade proposal, there are actually a couple of them that have been floating around. There's been some reports that Isiah Kiner-Falefa had some interest from the New York Yankees, and also I've also heard that the Rangers have been sniffing around Matt Olson. Let's start with the best player, Isiah Kiner-Falefa, and Ormoyal was one of the ones. He is of the Athletic, formerly of WFAA, formerly of living in Dallas. R.I.P. He moved to New York and therefore is dead. But he floated a move of I believe it was Ezekiel Duran, plus IKF plus I think one other prospect for Joey Gallo.
Yeah, no, I hate it.
You hate it?
I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
They just traded Joey Gallo half a year ago. He was terrible for them. He only has 1 year left under contract. A year the Rangers won't be competitive, in all likelihood. So why are you going to give back the best prospect you got in that trade? It makes no sense to me. I saw that. I did not care for it.
Wow. So you're saying you don't want Joey back at all costs?
I would love to have Joey back, but they cannot have Ezekiel Duran for him.
What if it's just straight up? I feel like that's fair.
I care for Joey? Yeah, that's a deal.
I mean, how many years of control does Isiah Kiner-Falefa have? He's cheap.
Two, I think. Because
apparently the Yankees are poors now. And the big money Rangers, maybe that's why they traded Joey there. And, we'll pay his salary. You poor Yankees, you don't have the money to spend. Just like all those poor guys. And you can get this cheap controllable. I guess the A's actually moved to New York and to the Bronx. And I must have missed that move. Or just everybody got poor, which is really embarrassing for them, but not for the Rangers. But would you consider, what would be a package that you would feel comfortable, feel good about of Isiah Kiner-Falefa, Joey Gallo trade, which in my head just sounds like an insane thing to say.
It does.
But I don't care. I want it. I want it badly.
I wouldn't add that much to Isiah. Unless Joey signed an extension along with the trade.
I think he will. In that case, you would have to give him an actual extension.
You'd have to.
There's literally no other excuse. Also, can we go back and say, do you actually really like Duran? Because if you do, then, I feel differently. But at this moment, I'm thinking, literally 3 months after you stiffed the best homegrown player you've brought up this decade, and it's not particularly close, and you stiffed him for, anywhere decent of a contract offer. And then 3 months later, you unload the biggest offseason, most expensive offseason in MLB history. The hell is the deal there?
But, it still fits the timeline, right? Because they're not going to be competitive until 2023. Gallo's a free agent after 2022. If you didn't have an extension you liked, trade him. I understand where that take comes from. I've seen a lot of it. The frustration, I think, is very... I get it. But he's a free agent a year before you even have a chance at competing.
Since when are you rational on Joey Gallo? Who are you? What have you done with Grant Schiller?
Bring him back, put him in center field for the next decade.
Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Trade for him, sign him to a 15-year, $600 million extension. Tell him, make him write in the contract, I will never leave you again. I'm so sorry. Even though it's not my fault.
The Rangers should be apologizing, right?
Yeah, no, the Rangers should be saying that in his contract. Please don't ever leave again. Unless you want to, in which case, then we've deeply screwed up and you deserve to go be happy somewhere else.
Unless it's the Astros.
Yeah. Oh God, no. No. When I read the report that Joey Gallo was being talked about in trades with AL West teams and the Rangers weren't involved, I was like, I swear to God, if he goes to the Astros, it happened in an MLB The Show game that I was playing where he got traded to the Astros, and I'm like, I am viscerally sick seeing this.